The United Nations announced that transferring oil from the decayed sulfur tanker is set to start next week. Those statements came during the briefing of David Gressly, the UN resident coordinator in Yemen, before the Security Council yesterday. This report has more details.
The 47-year-old FSO Safer, long used as a floating storage platform and now abandoned off the Houthi-held Yemeni port of Hodeidah, has not been serviced since the Arabian Peninsula country went into civil war more than 8 years ago. The United Nations announced that the transfer of crude oil from a decaying tanker off Yemen will begin early next week, of an operation aimed at preventing a damaging Red Sea spill. In a Security Council meeting, David Gressly, the UN humanitarian coordinator for Yemen, stated that the oil transfer can proceed with a level of risk within an acceptable range.
Thus, the Safar is fully stabilized for the ship-to-ship transfer of the oil. The upcoming oil transfer still presents even a residual risk, but the United Nations and its partners have put in place a crisis management team based in Hodeidah and assembled in the expertise and equipment required to respond if there is an incident.
A team of experts in May started inspecting conditions aboard the vessel and kick-started preparations for the operation. It will pump the oil from the Safer to the Nautica, a supertanker the United Nations purchased for the operation to recover the equivalent more than 1 million barrels of oil, then pull away the empty tanker.
The replacement vessel Nautica is preparing to sail from Djibouti. It will moor alongside the Safar and should begin taking on the oil by early next week. Once the transfer starts, it will take approximately 2 weeks to complete. The completion of the ship-to-ship transfer of the oil will be a moment when the whole world can heave a sigh of relief. The worst-case humanitarian, environmental, and economic catastrophe from a massive oil spill will have been prevented.
The operation still presents residual risk, and plans are in place to address potential incidents. The unprecedented UN operation to transfer oil from the Safer is budgeted at some $143 million.
In February 2022, the internationally recognized government confirmed to me in Aden its support for the plan. It pledged $5 million towards the operation, in fact, making it the sixth largest donor to this operation. The political and financial support have been critical to the success of the project, and I really want to thank their support for the political, financial, and technical support we have received through the planning and implementation of this project.
In the event of a spill, the UN estimates cleanup costs could top $20 billion, with potentially catastrophic environmental, humanitarian, and economic consequences.